Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Movie Mornings. This is the show, obviously, where we talk about movies a lot of the time, but not all of the time. But it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. We do have a Book of Boba Fett trailer to talk about. We have an Eternals review. I did get to go see it. Very excited to get into all of that. And hopefully much, much more great conversation for all of you out there. Want to thank everybody for joining today. And let's have a good time, as always. But before we get started here today, I do have with me, as always, Mr. Jose Espinel. Jose, how's it going, buddy?
I'm good. I'm doing good, man. I'm just super stoked and excited to get into the topics that we're going to talk about here and all the other stuff that we're going to talk about. I'm super excited.
Couldn't agree more, man, as always. But guys, before we get started, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback on the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications. If you're listening on Spotify, head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Anorax, and do all that there. And also make sure you follow us on Spotify if you're listening on the YouTube channel. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be a fun day. And man, I tell you, we got to start with this Boba Fett thing. I don't really know how else to start this out, because finally on Movie Mornings, you and I get to talk some Star Wars. Yes. I don't think we've really had much news on that front with Star Wars since we started Movie Mornings, honestly. And so
there's actually a couple other Star Wars stuff that we can talk about. I just saw a couple news articles about some stuff that's going to be shown on Disney Plus Day.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we could speculate Disney Plus and all that too, but what Disney Plus Day is going to hold for us, because now everybody thought this Boba Fett trailer would drop on Disney Plus Day, but we got it out of the blue. And, you know, for me, that was a huge surprise. I remember just scrolling through my feed and it was like, oh shit, Boba Fett's here. Honestly, I had no idea it was coming, man, but you saw the trailer, man. What are your opinions on it?
Oof. It looks like a great show, almost Western style, like bounty hunter cowboy type show here, which I'm super excited. You know, Boba Fett finally taking the reins of, from Jabba the Hutt and taking control and meaning business. Like, all right, if you don't follow what I say, then there's gonna be trouble. And he's got obviously his sidekick that he saved in the Mandalorian, and
yeah.
She's pretty cool too. I'm just super excited to see what this show brings for us.
Yeah, and this show too. I mean, obviously it's being helmed by Robert Rodriguez, who directed the Boba Fett episode in Mandalorian season 2. Not only that, it's also being helmed by Jon Favreau, who we know has done great stuff with the Mandalorian, and I like that he's still kind of around to oversee all this. I think that that's a really great thing for Star Wars right now. You've watched a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, you know, recently for Mandalorian. You watched the season 2 one, right? For season 2,
the making of, and then the making of the season finale.
The way Robert Rodriguez described the fact that, like, he made a little short with his kids to show John and Dave, like, what he wanted for Boba Fett, blew my mind. And like,
same,
that's a filmmaker right there.
That makes me even more excited for this Book of Boba Fett show, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be some great stuff, honestly.
Yeah, and the other thing about this too, and then we'll get to your Sopranos stuff in a second, but this has a mafia vibe to it, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. And like, this show, like, I like the fact that the mafia vibe is getting mixed in with Star Wars, dude, and it's going to be really cool.
Because they've done, obviously with the Visions, they've done the anime Star Wars now, and now we're gonna get a Star Wars Mafia, which honestly I'm really stoked and excited for it, because like we've said, I've watched The Sopranos, I've seen a couple mob mafia type movies and stuff now, and I'm growing a liking for it now, and for Star Wars to do this now is really cool, and I'm super excited.
I remember way back in the day there was a show, I think I talked to you about this at one point. George Lucas had the scripts for the Underworld series, which was kind of like this, where it was going to go through the criminal underground and sort of show us the massive scope and maybe, go into some of that mafia stuff as we're seeing here. And even in the show, or in the trailer, rather, it shows us that it says something about the underworld, right? Like diving into the underworld. And like, I almost wonder if they're taking some of George's scripts for that series and going to use some of those concepts, because if you ask me, like, that would be a good way to go. They put out that screen tests for not screen tests, well, it was kind of a screen test, yeah, or whatever footage was shot of the Underworld show before it, ended up falling through, and they put it out on YouTube, and fans went insane for it. Like, it looked great. I myself have to agree as well. So this to me looks a lot more like that, except it's not so much the underground of Coruscant as much as I would have wanted to have seen that. This, we're going into the underworld of Tatooine, but I'm still good with it because it's keeping that mafia vibe.
Yeah, of course, and if if he does end up using something similar to that, like kind of taking from that and kind of putting his own spin on it, I'd be really cool. And honestly, I can't wait because I can just tell that this is going to be another great Star Wars Disney show. Because look at the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Like, that show has done incredible. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and all the other people who have directed the episodes from the show did such a phenomenal job. This is like one of the best things that, if not probably the best thing that Disney has done with Star Wars. And I just hope that I honestly can feel that they're going to do the same thing here with this Book of Boba Fett show. Honestly,
Star Wars works best on TV. Like, that's just a fact. Like, in all honesty,
it works so much better in shows because I feel like in a way that you can just, because you can make shows longer because you can have multiple seasons, you can tell so much more through shows than in movies, which is why, in my opinion, like you've said, Star Wars is for TV, it's for shows, because you can just tell so much more of stories through shows.
Well, yeah, I mean, I go back and I look at like the Mandalorian season 2, and the amount of emotions we had, at least by the end of that, like, it was such an emotional finale. Without that build to that, you just don't have those emotions. I don't feel like you really needed that build of the relationship between Grogu and Din Djarin to be able to feel the emotions by the time Din Djarin essentially got pulled away from him. So I feel like that is why it works, honestly, at the end of the day, is the fact that they're building these relationships. Not only that, they're using Mandalorian as a way to make these backdoor pilots and span out now between Boba Fett and Ahsoka, because like this Boba Fett show from the trailer, it's the vibe of what we got in that initial Boba Fett episode. And I think that that's the best way to do it, is make these backdoor pilots, use Mandalorian as your vehicle to do that, but span out. It's part of the reason that the MCU's been so successful, is because they'll introduce like I think of Civil War, for example. Like, the second you see Black Panther, you're like, I want to see more of this, and you get more of it in a different movie, and it's like, okay.
I guess same thing when Marvel first introduced Spider-Man into the MCU. That was sick too, and it's like, and now I kind of want to see what Marvel wants to do with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
we have Sony movies of Spider-Man, but now he's part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. Now I want to see what Marvel has in store for Spider-Man.
Yeah, Civil War acted as multiple backdoor pilots in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not TV, I say pilots, but you know what I mean. It's a similar thing to what's going on in Mandalorian. With Mandalorian, you're definitely still getting those vibes, or I'm sorry, Book of Boba Fett. You're getting the vibes as you got from the Boba Fett episode, and people wanted to see more of that, I believe, like, because Boba Fett was like kicking ass, and like the whole thing was like done on location, which was unique to the Mandalorian series, because most of it was done on soundstage. Robert Rodriguez was like, no, fuck that, we're gonna do location, and I respect him all the more for it, and I hope there's a lot more of that here in this one. So
yeah, I was thinking when I was watching that one episode where you see like the feet of a character going up to that girl that Din Djarin had shot and thought that she died. I remember when I first saw that episode,
mm-hmm.
you heard like the beeps from the outfit, and I was like,
Fennec is who you're referring to, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you just hear like the beeps from Boba Fett's like,
the spurs.
Yes, the spurs and the the noise that his suit makes. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, my first thought was like, is this Boba Fett? We're gonna get Boba Fett now, and then he shows up, and now he's getting his own show. It's it's honestly incredible that that Disney's doing this. And,
well,
went this way, and now that now he's getting his own show.
I remember when all that was coming around too, because I remember being like, everybody was like, that's Boba Fett when the Spurs were coming up in that episode, and I remember saying, look, guys, don't speculate responsibly, okay? Like, don't get yourselves hyped up for Boba Fett. Especially like theories have been wrong in Star Wars all the time.
I think it's also because everyone thought that Boba Fett was dead, so it could have been Boba Fett, but at the same time, yeah, don't hold your
At the
expectations high.
time, to
Like,
me, it felt unlikely, that it would have been
well, yeah,
Boba
because
Fett. And
everyone, because everyone thought, everyone thought Boba Fett was dead, so it's like, no, it can't be Boba Fett.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he's alive. He survived.
Yeah, and I'll say this for me, when it comes to Boba Fett in general, for the fans that don't know out there, I mean, for me, I wasn't a Boba Fett guy. Like, I never got the hype
Yeah,
behind it, and like,
same,
it,
honestly.
and granted, like they gave him a little more to do in Clone Wars, but it was only like a couple episodes, and I was like, all right, they were fun episodes, but it wasn't like I was like this massive Boba Fett fan. Then you take him in Mandalorian, bring Tamara Morrison back to play him. Um, Phenomenal. And
Oh yeah,
it
100%.
made me want more of this character. So now I'm on board. Now I'm hyped. I can't wait, man. I think this is going to be
Oh,
really
dude.
great stuff.
Oh, yeah, honestly, like you said, it's got this mob mafia feel to it, and like I said, I love anime, and then Star Wars made that collab with anime. Like I loved it so much. Now they're doing a mafia collab, and
Yeah.
honestly, like I can't. I'm so excited, man. I can't wait for the show. It looks just from the trailer alone. This looks
Yeah.
like an incredible show. I can't wait.
Robert Rodriguez has been criticized for some of his films in the past. He hasn't had the greatest resume in the world. There's some films on his resume that I just absolutely love, but I just had this feeling when I watched this trailer, he gets Boba Fett. He gets what this character needs, to bring more people on board like myself who
Yeah,
weren't as massive on it.
he did it in the Mandalorian show, and he's just
For
gonna keep
sure.
bringing it in this Boba Fett show.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I think this is going to be hype. Definitely want to hear from you guys out there too. What y'all think of this Boba Fett trailer? Did y'all like it? Are you excited for it? How are you on Boba Fett in general? Maybe you're still not quite there, but you think that this show might be the trick. But let us know for sure. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into some stuff. So I saw Eternals last night too, and
God, I really wanted
switching
to go,
gears here a
man.
little bit. And before we go with this, I got to tell you a very long-winded story because this is very relevant to what happened at Eternals.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a girl that I met about 8 years ago. Okay.
Okay.
Met her at I was working FYE in the mall at the time. She worked at Spencer's. I met her and I met her at Spencer's, obviously, just shopping there, right? And her and I like hit it off really, really well. And at the time, I didn't really know much about her. Obviously, when we hit it off really well, I just like I'm vibing with this girl, like you get that sometimes. And
Right.
so for me, I was just like at the time, dude, I was like, I would do anything to like make her my girlfriend, in all honesty. Like I mean that genuinely. And she honestly, at the time I just thought she was an incredible person. But anyway, so her and I were hitting it off, and we did, we were doing really well as far as like hanging out and just, all that kind of stuff. And because like we would visit each other's stores, like she would come to FYE and I would go to Spencer's, and like I figured like this is the thing. Found out she was engaged 8 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. And I won't say any names here, so I don't want anybody to get involved name wise. But I figured if anybody else in the audience is like struggling with something like this, hopefully they can relate. That's the whole purpose for this story. And also it is relevant to Eternals. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So I know you're like, how's this going to relate? I'll tell you. Trust me. But so anyway, point being, I found out she's engaged. But we weren't dating or anything, there's nothing wrong. It was innocent. I'm going to her store, she's coming to mine. And I go over there and I'm like, you know what? She's engaged, but she ain't married. But I'm really into her. And I didn't do anything wrong. I just told her how I felt. I thought it was fair to our friendship. Did I say how I feel?
Yeah. She's not married, so might as well. I mean, and if she says no, then then it's no.
For
Just move
me,
on.
I just want to lay it out on the line, and at this point in time, like, again, I'm not mentioning any names because I don't want anybody to get pissed off out here, but I don't even think she watches our show or listens to it, so I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, to me, I mean, what do you expect when you tell somebody that? Personally, I mean, I accepted the fact that I was probably just gonna run into rejection at that time, right? Because she's engaged. I was doing it for the fairness of the friendship. I was like, yeah, I mean, I think she deserves this. So I just told her,
don't waste any more time. Just straight up say,
yeah. And granted, I'm like, but if not, she ain't married yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly, yeah.
if she does say, hey, like I'm feeling the same way, she ain't married, and I think it's just fair to, especially when you're in a friendship like that. And this is advice to the audience. I personally, yes, it might fuck things up, but I just personally think it's only fair that you see where you're at. Sometimes for me, like I feel like I need to be upfront and honest, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
It was kind of the same thing for my last ex, my most recent girlfriend. She was dating this guy, and I kind of like, it was kind of one of those like love at first sight type things, where like as soon as I laid eyes on her, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And so when one day when she was walking and I see her there. She's not with her boyfriend. I was like, all right, cool. Let me just go up to her and just tell her how I feel, like straight up, because we were like talking as like friends at the time. This was probably like a couple weeks after I saw her for the first time. I went up to her. I was like, look, I'm just telling you straight up right now. I have feelings for you. I know you're with someone right now, but I have feelings for you. And she was like, I kind of do too, but I'm with this guy right now, so she's kind of, we'll just see what happens. So I wait, and then yeah, from there, she ended up breaking up with the guy because he
All
was
right.
abusive and stuff or whatever, and so then it just went from there. But I can relate to that whole just kind of saying it straight up.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, like, if I had any confidence at all back when I was telling her how I felt, this girl, it's because I also have played that game and won. You know what I mean? Because the ex I had before that was also engaged to somebody, and because I laid my feelings out there, it broke it all off. You know what I mean? So I figure
she called off the engagement.
the ex before I had that, yeah, but not this girl at Spencer's, but the ex I had before her. So yeah, called off her engagement, and her and I dated for 3.5 years. So it's not. So in my mind, it's like it's not impossible to
Look, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
But it's not a competition. I don't know the fucking guy.
I know. Obviously,
because if you don't know the guy, he could be a good guy. But I think the point being is it was fair to the friendship to say and figure out where we're at.
That's why I told you this too, because it was the same situation. Obviously, she wasn't engaged to this guy; they were just dating. But it was like a similar situation. Like we were friends. We were obviously talking as friends for a couple weeks, and started growing more feelings for her. We had almost everything in common. I kind of just wanted to be straight up and just for the friendship, it was only fair that I've got these feelings. I gotta just lay it down. If she says no,
no.
I mean, she did say no, but she was like, she was just like, wait and see what happens. She's like, well, I mean, if I do end up breaking up with this guy, then we can give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, if she said no and she kept staying with this guy, I was willing to wait until she did break up with the guy, and then shoot my shot.
Yeah.
And it turned out a sort of a win. I mean,
yeah,
the months that we dated were I mean, I still think about her to this day, honestly.
Well, that's the thing too, and like something I've always wanted to bring to the show too, is just this like,
I mean, she was my first love. Like she's the first person.
And I understand that completely, because, and I'll never forget my first love. I'll never forget my first love.
The girls I dated before her, it didn't feel right because I was always like nervous around them when I was dating them.
Yeah,
it was probably because I didn't love them. I only liked them. But with her, it was different. I was never nervous with her. Like it felt natural. It felt like I felt like she was the one. I was already thinking about like a future with her. Honestly.
Yeah. Look, I mean, something I want to bring to the show is some and I want everybody to understand, because some people are going to be like, Dom, why are you going to lay all this out here on movie mornings? Like, well, because I want to help our audience members if they're going through something like this. And the other thing is I want to bring some sort of spirituality to the show, to where it's like, like, because like I did have a spiritual connection with this girl. Like it felt that way, I'm telling you. And like when I met her,
that was me with my most recent ex.
When I met her the first time, it was like, sometimes you meet girls, right? And then you're like, you think they're hot or whatever, and it's like, man, I would do anything to date her. This wasn't like that. This was like, I met this girl one time and I told myself, like, there's something different. here with the Spencer's girl. Yeah.
That was the same thing with my most recent ex. Like all the ones before were like, it was like, oh, I'd do anything to date them. It's like
Yeah.
it wasn't like love. It was just wanting. It was almost like I wanted like to just. It was almost like friends with benefits almost with them.
Yeah.
But when I met her, it was different because like, we started to like get to know each other and talk, and we had like so much in common, like
Yeah.
almost everything in common. It was different.
Yeah.
It was just a completely different type of relationship
Yeah.
that we had, and the feelings were a lot different with her than any of the other girls that I've dated in the
Yeah.
past. So
This one I'm telling you, man, I had a hard time sleeping at night after I met her, the Spencer's girl, because
bro, the first day I met her, I stayed up probably almost like the whole night, if I'm being honest, just thinking about her.
yeah, and it was something different, man. It was something different. There was something spiritual going on. I was telling all my friends too. I was like, dude, you guys don't understand. Like, this is something like it's bothering me. Like, it bothers me even when I found out she was engaged. Like, it's like it doesn't bother me that she's happy and happily engaged. I'm glad she's happy, but it bothers me because I know that there's something else going on. Anyway, so to try to tie this back into Eternals, I know this is kind of long-winded, but for me, the thing that I would say about this, actually, I still haven't told you guys what happened when I told her how I felt back then 8 years ago, because so I tell her how I feel. I'm like, I said it stinks. I was basically what I said. I think something along the lines of it stinks because I like you a lot, and like there's something here, and I laid it all out there, pretty much everything I just told you now about how I was feeling. I know that there's a connection. I know it, and I'm expecting rejection because I accepted that, even though I have that tiny bit of confidence because I've kind of played that game and won before. At this point, I'm expecting rejection. She hands me her phone.
So what's her number? Hey.
Essentially, I think actually she opened up the Facebook app and had me add her on Facebook or whatever. Right?
But either way, she handed you, like, because if she would have wanted to reject you, she would have just said no. When they hand you the phone is because they want to like, get to know you and stuff like that.
The very same day, though, she shows up in my store. She buys a CD, right? And like, she ended up texting me about like she had to return the CD, she got the wrong one, all that yada yada yada. I was like, all right, I'll do that return for you tomorrow or whatever. It's just like, so she found a way to come back. Well, how do you take that though? It feels almost on purpose, right? Like, to me, but. Again,
I was gonna say she probably bought the wrong one on purpose because she wanted to go back.
Felt that way, but I have no proof of that. But every time we spoke, man, it felt flirty, and that might have been a misjudgment on my part. Okay, might have been. I'm getting somewhere with this, trust me. So might have been a misjudgment on my part. And I'll tell you what happened, man. I told her. I got upset because she was engaged and we just kept having this back and forth, and I did something very stupid, and I acknowledge this by telling her, look, this is, I want to know what's going on, like I want to know because this feels like more than just friends. It does, and she got a little upset at that. She got a little upset. She thought it was over something boundaries. Perhaps it was, in all fairness.
I mean, she is engaged.
In all fairness, yes. In all fairness, she's very fair. And I guess the moral to that portion of the story is don't do that to anybody listening, because it will blow up in your face. And yeah, so she was upset about that. I got hammered when she got upset with me. I got hammered. Went over to my friend's house.
As you do.
And they told me, this is what they said, because they knew I was a musician. They're like, dude, you gotta channel this.
Write a song.
Put it into a song. I write the song. I record the song. Song gets around her. And she makes the connection. Which is fair. I mean, and I don't know, again, I don't know if her...
So did you post it?
I did, yeah. It was out there for a little while.
So that's how I got it.
It's gone now. You guys will never hear it. It's not my best work, but she heard the song.
Look, that's what I'm doing right now is I can tell the viewers right now, I'm writing a song about this past relationship I just
Right.
had with this girl. Still in the works, but
It
I'm
was
at that right
it
now.
was embarrassing. It's embarrassing to think about now because I know it wasn't my best work. I know production wise, it certainly wasn't my best work. But I wanted to put it out there just to see how people felt about it, and it got around to her. And I think that she made the connection with the lyrics and stuff because I I won't say it again here, but I said something very specific that what she would only know. I'll just put it that way, and in the song, and so that connection was there. She makes a connection. I don't know if her fiance at the time heard it at the time, or or whatever, but dude, but it got blown out of proportion. She didn't want me to like ever talk to her again. She said she was like, sorry if you got led on and all that kind of stuff. Fuck, it happens. But listen, I mean, that whole time, dude, that I was like, it got even worse because like I was hearing rumors about me and this girl like doing stuff together. I was like, this is all probably getting back around to the fiance, and that's not
Yeah,
good because we really didn't do anything.
right.
Like genuinely, we didn't do anything, but I think it all kind of got blown out of proportion. It was a weird time, man. It was a weird time. Um,
Did he ever come and confront you or something?
no, no, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know the guy. I mean, I met him a couple times, but like I never like I don't know how to like we never like talked about that portion. And in fact, now here's the other thing. Okay, I'm gonna track this. I remember this moment very specifically. This just came into my mind actually. Um, the week she was getting married, she came back into my store and bought a CD. Week she was getting married, bought a CD. And I felt like the vibe was still kind of there that we had, personally, but that's just me. Again, like, and I'm not trying to like say like I had any expectations because trust me, after my heart kind of got broken by the whole thing, and I was just at a low point, my expectations were down here, man. I mean, they weren't high at all, and I kind of kept that attitude for the longest time. I really did. I kept the attitude of low expectations, wouldn't expect anything, but her and I were getting along again, like when she came into the store, and I was like, okay, maybe she doesn't hate me, that was my thought anyway. And so essentially, um she would it's a very cool person, by the way, this girl, like honestly, otherwise I wouldn't have been interested in the first place, obviously, but very cool person, not somebody I wanted to cut out of my life, that's for damn sure. She ended up going over she got married, right, and didn't work out. I found out later the marriage didn't work out, but essentially it was yeah, and I was sad for her. I really was, man. Like that was heartbreaking for me to hear, because more so when you care about somebody, you just want them to be happy. And
Right. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how I
Of
felt about
course.
this girl, and I was like, that's her path. Because I left it alone. I was like, that's her path. That's her path, and she should go on that path. And I was genuinely heartbroken to hear that didn't work out. And, again, man, I finally texted her and I told her how sorry I was and all that kind of stuff. And that, it was just, and I just asked her if we could just, get our friendship back because I missed that, I missed talking to her. And she said, yeah, because especially if you like go through something like that, I'm not going to ask anybody to like date me or anything like after something like that happens. You know what I mean? It's like, you need time. That's a
Yeah,
big deal.
I wish my ex would still text me, bro.
Y-
Like a couple months after she broke up with me, we texted like probably uh, for a month after we broke up. She would like we saw each other a couple times. We would text. But then a couple other months passed by and she just stopped
Yeah.
responding to my texts, and it kind of I, it
Yeah.
still hurts to this day, and it just
Yeah.
makes me think about her even more. It's like, what is she up to? What is she doing? And
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
Yeah. Look, I mean, here's the, and I would go in. She was working at a different store at that time, but still close by, and I would go in and I would talk to her sometimes, and it was nice. I was just not happy to get the friendship back on. Hadn't been the same since, though. I mean, come on, like as it was at first, it was just never the same. But it was always nice to see her, and I was happy to have her in my life to some degree. But I ended up moving like hours away after that. You know what I mean? So like, we just kind of fell out for the most part. I will text her since like over the course of the last 7-8 years or whatever, I've texted her casually. I see a movie I think she might like. I might say something about that. You know what I mean? Her and she plays Words with Friends, so we've done that a couple times, and like, but like, it's always, to me, just always been like casual messaging back and forth. Nothing
Of course,
like,
of course.
and again, I felt like I already fucked it up. So my expectations are always going to stay down. That's where I've always been. Is just keep the expectations low, but don't stop talking to her. You never know, right? I mean, some point, right? It's just, but expectations are always low. Maybe the last time I talked to her was 3 months ago, and I talked to her about the Star Wars Visions because she's an anime fan. I was like, you should check this out, So that was like 3 months ago, but it was real casual. I was like, you should check out. How you doing? You should check out Star Wars Visions. Last thing we exchange. It was very casual, very brief. Because I knew she was an anime fan. It was the only reason I suggested it to her. I suggested it to all my friends who are anime fans, but then I'm coming out of Eternals the other night.
And she texted you.
She texted me.
Of course, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what, I actually have the messages right here because I'm going to read some of these out. Because
so there's multiple messages.
Well, I want to get a consensus from the audience here.
Oh, no, not for me. Okay.
And you, obviously. Why are you on the fucking show if I'm not gonna, no, I mean, no, seriously, I do. But the thing that you got to realize too is like I was caught off guard immediately because anytime we've engaged in conversation, I've been the one to engage it, and it's been casual.
If that's the case, I would be caught off guard too. If I was the one, like if my ex was, if I was still talking to my most recent ex and I was always the one starting it, she just texts me out of nowhere, I would be caught completely off guard because I mean that was really the situation when we were talking like the month after she broke up with me. It was always me like starting the conversation. She never like texted me first.
Yeah.
So I mean I'd be caught off guard too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And listen, I mean the reason I'm reading these is not to get this person's business out on the air again. I'm not going to mention any names. It's to so I don't get the details wrong, and I just want to get an opinion from everybody here, and because now I feel, and there's a point I want to make here too. There's a big point I want to make here. Overall, she texts me, right? She goes, "Hey, how have you been?" I'm like, I got out of Eternals. I read this. I was like, whoa, she never texts me. Weird, I said, maybe she just needs to know about a movie or something. I don't know. It's my first thought. I was like, good. How are you? Kind of like, like, good. What's this about? How are you? And she's like, oh, living the dream one nightmare at a time. That right there tells me there's something wrong. She's reaching out. That was my impression.
100%. Yeah.
I said, oh no, what's wrong? I thought I was correct on that.
Yeah, of course.
And she said, LMAO, nothing's wrong. Just a new twist on the sarcastic classic living the dream. I said, I can get behind that, Just being, I'm trying to be nice, I sensed it, man. This goes back to the spiritual thing. I sensed something was going on. And she said, LMAO, nothing's wrong. Oh, wait, I just read that one. Sorry. Then she goes, LOL, really though? How are you? What have you been up to? I said, I'm great.
Just YouTube with my best bud.
Again, just to see so everybody knows where I'm coming from here. Like, I'm great. Just got out of a press screening, living the dream like you, I guess, And then she was like, press screening for what? And I said, Eternals. It was really good. And she goes, never met her. Glad it was good, though.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that expression, by the way, until Eternals. Until, like, I was talking to her after the movie. I didn't know that expression. And I said,
really?
I didn't. And I said, met who? LOL. And she goes, LOL, it's a joke. It's what the kids say when they've never heard of something. I'm showing my age, Dom. LOL. And I said, haven't heard that one yet. LOL, yeah. I was like, because you're such a grandma, because she's my age, And she goes, dude, I'm almost 30. Shit's hitting me hard. LOL. How old are you now? I said, oh, she goes, 23. LOL. And I was like, 28, boomer. I winked at her to give her the winky face. And she's like, LMAO. Why did I think you were so much younger than me? I said, I don't know, LOL, because deep inside I'm a 12-year-old boy, which is true, by the way, for all the audiences out there. The audiences.
So then, how do you not know that expression then?
I've never heard that. I don't know,
bro.
Well, I'm a 12-year-old boy in the 90s. I'm just living in the 90s. I'm not going past the 90s.
I guess I am 7 years younger, so I would know that expression.
Yeah, shut up. Anyway, we get all right. So anyway, she goes, "That's it." Kidding. LOL. I said, "Sure. What are you up to?" I just asked her what she was up to. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this because I know she texted me for a reason, and we ain't getting anywhere here. I'm like, let's go. What is this? There's something here. And she goes, "Listen to this. Come on. Now you tell me there's not something up." Okay. Pretending I'm not on the urge of a mental breakdown. The good news is work is going well and I still have my house, LOL. How about you? And I said, with a friend, what happened? Which I think I'm in the right. When you say you're in the urge of a fucking mental breakdown, I think I'm in the right to ask what happened.
Of course.
Personally. Not trying to get shitty here, but personally. Nothing new, LOL. Same shit, different day. Have fun with your friend. Going to bed soon. 5 a.m. comes early. I said, I'm about to drop him off. Do you want to talk? And she said, nah, at some point, but not so much now. And I said, you want to talk to me at some point? And she said, yeah, why not? I said, where are you getting at? Spill right now, because this is like some shit. I'm telling you, there's something here.
She's cock teasing me.
You think it's a tease?
No, as in like she's like cock teasing you. So she's just like reeling you in. She's just trying to like, she's not telling you right away. She's kind of just trying to like play around with you.
Oh, let me finish the messages.
Yeah, go ahead.
She said, yeah, why not? And I said, are you okay? And she said, LMAO, I'm fine. What's that supposed to mean? I said, I'm assuming you reached out because you needed someone to talk to, which I think I'm in the right still.
Of course.
She said, it's always good to talk to someone who will listen. You've always been nice to me. I'm good, though, I swear. I felt the same way. Yeah, this gets worse. Anyway.
It gets worse.
She says, I said, but you want to talk at some point. And she said, should I not want to? And I said, I'm here for you regardless, but was there something specific you wanted to talk about? She said, LMAO, no, Dom, just wanted to catch up. I'm going to bed. You're making me feel weird for wanting to talk to you. LMAO. She's keeping the fun vibe, I guess. Yeah. And I said, in my defense, you rarely reach out to me, so I was just caught off guard by it, I guess. LOL. She goes, you're right. LOL. Good night. I was like, all right, glad you missed me. Good night, winky face. She puts 3 eye rolling emojis, but playfully, I believe, at least. Wouldn't you believe that? I think at this juncture.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So anyway,
because I know girls that I mean, I don't know if she still has feelings for you, but I do know that like girls that have feelings for guys, they'll send the eye rolling emojis as kind of like a playful type way.
Well, this is where things got more interesting to me. So morning rolls around, obviously I'm letting her sleep. She's going through some shit. It seems like I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna like keep texting her or some shit. Like I'm not gonna be that guy. She goes, I said, morning rolls around. I said, are you feeling better this morning? She says, LOL. Yeah, I was fine last night though. Upon further examination of my text from last night, I can understand how you can infer I was not okay. Sorry about that. I was just getting hella in my feels.
Okay.
And in my mind, well, this is what I said. And I meant this. I was like, totally cool. I just find it amusing that I became the go-to in that moment. And she put it like a laughing face. And I said, if you were really serious about catching up, We should grab a cup of coffee or tea if that's more your style.
I've never heard anyone say grab a cup of tea.
Look, I know she likes tea. She's told me this in the past, so like I'm just trying to no, because I'm playing this because like I want her to know that I care. I remember that she likes tea. I thought that would have been a nice thing to say. And she said, LOL, I'd be down for that sometime. And I said, great. How's Saturday sound? I got nothing going on Saturday. She said,
this Saturday.
Yeah, and she said, I've got plans all day Saturday, maybe one day next week after work. I was like, all right, great. Sounds good to me, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right. What's the plan Saturday? I'm joking. Getting high and texting me again? LOL. And I said, I was like kidding, but that sounds good. What time are you off typically? She tells me with the time. And she says, LMAO, if you must know, on Saturday, I'm getting my hair done and going on a date. I said, how about Monday at 7 p.m. at Starbucks?
Classic.
And this was at like 10 a.m. I got nothing until... Actually, that's kind of false. I got nothing. It's now 5:50 in the evening. I don't want to push it, but look, and I understood that this girl was at work. Okay, I got that, but I was always told by other women, if women are interested, they will make time to text you, regardless if they're at work.
Like, all right, look. Oh, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I have had plenty of experience of lessons learned about this kind of stuff from high school, especially because I was known because my high school was small. We were a graduating class of like 41 in my senior year. So there was probably about 100 and something kids in the whole high school. So, mistakes that I made, I was known around the entire high school as the kid that was trying to like just get any girl to be my girlfriend. Like at that point, I was just wanting a girlfriend. And so if one thing I've learned from that is that don't push it because then the girls get uninterested. Make the girl want you. So
I wasn't trying to push nothing, but I've also
but that's what I'm saying too. Is that like if you are talking to a girl, even if you're not, the less often you text a girl, so the longer you wait to text them, the more they're gonna want to text you.
Yeah, and I hate that because what are we in fucking high school playing a game though? See, I hate that. I think that's bullshit.
And look, and I agree with you on that. It's just how it works. I don't know why it is that way, but it's just how it's been for a while now.
And you know what? I think it's complete bullshit because we're adults.
Oh no, dude, trust me, I 100% agree with that. I wish it wasn't that way.
We're adults, man. Like, why the fuck are we doing this now? Like, at an adult age, why should we have to play the game? Why not just kind of cut the bullshit a little bit and just say it how it is? You either want to go get the fucking cup of coffee or you don't want to go get the fucking cup of coffee. I don't care.
Like, be straightforward. Like, just don't play these games.
And that's for the women out there. Like, I'm being honest because I've been dicked around enough. This ain't my first rodeo. You know?
And girls think that it's hard for them when it comes to dating. It's harder. It's way harder for guys because it's how much balls it takes to go up to a girl and say you like them. Like that takes more balls than a girl to go up to a guy and say I like you.
I think so. And let's be honest, when it comes to the dating game, let's be very real. Girls get to be a lot more choosy than us. It's one point where guys have a struggle. It's one place where we have a struggle. I'm not saying guys struggle more than women. That's not the statement I'm trying to make here, folks. What I'm saying is that in the dating game, the women get more options and they get to play the game because we're the ones that traditionally have to ask. Let's be honest. We're the ones that have to say it. We're the ones that have to ask. So if we're going to be that guy, and if I had the confidence to ask, at the very least, just be straight up if you're not interested. That's my whole thing. And I'm not saying she wasn't interested definitively. That's not definitively what I'm saying. She was at work. She gets busy, and I understand that, okay? Like, in her defense, she was at work. She got busy. I understand if that's the case. But in my opinion, if you're interested, again, because I've been dicked around enough, this isn't my first rodeo. In my opinion, if you're interested in a guy, you have fucking bathroom breaks, you have fucking lunch breaks, you're going to make the time to text me back. That's just my opinion of it.
So
at least a yes or no if you're interested in going to get the fucking cup of coffee. Am I nuts?
No. So I feel like, honestly, that game only really applies, at least more, when you're younger. It's not really the same.
It shouldn't apply anymore. I'm not saying that she's playing a game. I'm not definitively saying
no,
that.
but I'm saying that game is played more when you're younger. As you get older, it doesn't matter as much because, the women are a lot more matured now. They're done playing fucking games. Men, I mean,
look,
men mature a lot, slower than women.
Look, I'm at a point, I'm tired of being dicked around. So about 5:50, which is a lot of hours between 10 a.m. to 5:50, I figure, fuck it, she's not interested. She would have confirmed it by now, right? Like at that point, I figure.
I was gonna say it's already 11 p.m. and she still hasn't texted it.
Well, she did, but I'll tell you why she texted me.
Oh, you said from 10 to 5 she didn't text anything.
Right.
Okay.
And that's a lot of hours. I figured, she's going to go to the bathroom at least at one point.
Or have she has like an hour lunch break or something.
I'm not saying definitively that's the case. I'm saying that's my mindset at 5:50 p.m.
I mean, even then though, she would have had a lunch break at some point. That probably would have been like an hour. She could have texted then.
Right. Here we go. So,
like, at least
I said, I mean, I didn't say this, but in my mindset, I don't want to play the game, and if she's not interested, I don't want her to feel obliged to be nice or to be pressured to do anything that she's not interested in doing, like getting a cup of coffee with me on Monday night. If she doesn't want to do it, I still care a lot about this girl. Honestly, man, I haven't stopped thinking about her for 8 years. 8 years. And I'll be real about that. Like, I'm not saying I think about her every second of every day, but I haven't stopped thinking about our experiences for 8 years, man, because she meant that much to me.
I know. I think it's been 3 years since I dated my most recent ex, and I still think about her, not every second, but every day. I still think about her, and it's been 3 years since we dated. So,
I guess my point is
I go to sleep every day, and I have dreams about her, and I still do to this day. It honestly kills me. That's the other thing too. Is that I'm hoping that. Well, I really do hope, and I think it will help. Now that I'm going back to college and I'm going back to a campus with a bunch of other women, that I'll be able to find someone different and find someone that will take my mind off of her.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't. Maybe I find someone. I'm dating her, and I'm still thinking about this. My most recent ex. And it's like, I need to somehow just not forget about her, but like just move on from her, because I still think about her. I still think that she was the one. So.
Anyway, yeah, no, man, and I get it, and it's for me, it's this girl. I'm not saying she's the one for me. I'm saying that I've been dicked around enough. Listen, I've asked her to hang out in the past. She said no. She's been dating other people since the whole thing fell through. This isn't my first rodeo with her. I don't want to be dicked around. I just want confirmation, yes or no. I figure if she's not texting in that amount of hours, and granted, I'm not definitively saying she was blowing me off, but I'm saying it seems like it at that point, and I'm just done. So I just said, forget it. That's what I texted her. I said, forget it. I think that's fair. I wasn't trying to be shitty. I was just saying it seems like you're not interested. So forget it. Maybe I could have elaborated.
No, that's where me personally, I probably would have just left it until she texted back. And if she just never texted back, then that's when you can be like, okay.
But again, we're going back into we're playing the game. I'm not playing the game. I just want a confirmation.
Because that's when you just. Because that's almost like the confirmation for me. If she takes 12 hours a day, 2 days to not respond, that's basically my confirmation.
Yeah, but I just want a little fucking honesty. Just say no, I'm not interested. I understand that you're trying to be nice, polite, but just say no, I'm not interested. But I just said forget it. Just to prove a point that if you're not interested, you need to fucking tell me that. But I ended up getting a dude. I was at work, and so I'm like, great. I pissed her off.
The typical.
Great.
The dude I'm at work.
Great. I pissed her off now. Wonderful. I'm the bad guy here because I just said, Matt, forget it. It just seemed like you weren't interested. And all I said was that, and first of all, that's not a fucking confirmation either. Dude, I'm at work. You got to tell me yes or no. Just say no.
Just flat out yes or no.
Come
yes,
on.
Yes,
It's a yes or no question. You know, like 7 p.m. Monday, Starbucks. Are you interested? Just say yes or no. What are you waiting to see if your date goes well on Saturday to figure out if you want to move forward with Monday? Because maybe that was it. But that's really shitty too. That's really shitty too.
That's another thing that I don't like from girls is that like, okay, cool. It doesn't work with this guy. Let me just move on to the next one. Like.
Anyway, I said, all good. Was it a busy day? You know, just trying to make casual conversation. Maybe I can figure out where she's at. And then I said, I was like, I really didn't mean that in a shitty way. I just figured if you weren't interested, we didn't have to do it, you know? That's all I told her. She's seen the messages, but nothing back. So, fuck it.
She's probably really pissed, but...
Well, whatever, man. Why? Why does she have the right to be pissed? Because come on, it's common knowledge that this is the game girls play. I'm not saying that she was definitively trying to do that, right? But she knew she left me hanging for a lot of hours, right?
That's what I also don't like about girls too, is that they try to play the victim.
She knew she left me hanging for a lot of hours. Either way,
that's what I mean. Is even when you're at work, you always have those times where you can like check your phone. Like,
look, maybe she really was that busy that your mind was focused on other things. Maybe she really didn't have the time. I'm not trying to like put all the blame on her here.
Yeah, but that's where it's bullshit, because I know even if it is busy, you probably still can have someone take over for you, and you can go take your lunch break, because everyone who has a job is allowed a lunch break of at least an hour. So I know for sure that she would have had at least an hour where someone else was holding her shift, who had just come back from their lunch break, where she could have gone taken her lunch break and checked.
I believe firmly that there is a conversation that could be had where we could just figure out where we're coming from one another. And first of all, you heard the shit that went down after the Eternals screening.
This is why I prefer to have phone conversations with people, because text just don't work.
If she's not interested, what was all the? And I'm genuinely asking. This isn't a rhetorical question. I'm trying to get a consensus, because like if she's not interested, then what was all the shit after the Eternals screening? Why? What was the goal? You can't tell me that was nothing.
She just wanted to catch up, see how you're doing and stuff.
You don't think it was anything more?
I mean, do I think she still has feelings for you? Maybe.
It's a maybe. I'm not definitively trying to say that.
That's what I mean.
But I'm saying,
because I'm kind of like, you know, on a seesaw right now. It's like, not a seesaw. Is it a seesaw? Teeter-totter?
Teeter-totter, seesaw. I think they're the same thing, all right?
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of like there right now, because like, you know, on one side I'm like, okay, she texted you out of nowhere, maybe she is interested, but at the same time she left you hanging, but maybe it's because she was busy, maybe she's not. It's like, you know, it's like, it's confusing, because like,
I think she wanted to talk to me about something,
and maybe she did, but at the same time you don't know what that is.
Of course not. No,
that's the other thing I don't like about girls, is like, if you want to talk to me about something, just tell me.
Yeah.
Why do you have to cock tease me like this and like play with my emotions?
Well,
just tell me what you want to talk about.
She might want to talk to me about pooping butts, as far as I know. You know, who knows? But you know, the thing is like at the end of the day, I don't know like that any of us are in the wrong here. Well, I feel like maybe we were both in the wrong, but I also feel like because we were both in the wrong, that maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had to like just straighten it out, you know.
And that's where I feel like it needs to be on phone, because like I said, text just.
Well, she needs to give me that shot. That's the other problem. I need that shot, dude, to talk to her in person about this. And like, if she doesn't give me the shot in the first place to explain or figure out where we're at, and
if she doesn't want to, you know, give you the shot in person, at least over phone, because that's better than text, honestly. Because I've said this to my friends. I've said it to plenty of people. I just prefer talking on the phone, because in text it's so much harder to get out everything you want.
Yeah.
And you know, be able to text it all out, and then have to read it all and then give a reply that's also probably long. It's just easier if you just talk on the phone, because then you can get everything out you want.
Yeah.
Easier and quicker.
Yeah.
So
I'm not shitty to her. You know, like I'm not a shitty guy to her. Like I honestly,
I can see that.
and
too.
like that's what I'm saying. It's like
I can genuinely, I can tell you genuinely right now that I know you're not a shitty person.
Well,
I know you.
How am I supposed to, yeah, thank you. But how am I supposed to, my point is like, how am I, supposed to like date if I can't even get the chance? It's like, come on.
So this is my ex is an exception. Not really, kind of, but at the same time, no.
Well, the excuse, hold on real quick. Let me cut it real quick. Because the excuse is, oh, I'm not interested in you. Well, how do you know? You haven't given me the shot. How do you know? How do you know?
So two things.
Yeah. All right.
I guess I'll piggyback off what you said. That's what I don't like about girls these days is they see you, they don't find you attractive, and they just immediately like, no, I'm not going to give you a shot at all. You've judged a book by its cover. You haven't actually gotten to know what's in the pages of the book.
And I'm not. By the way, just to throw this out there, disclaimer: I'm not trying to say that's what this girl's deal is either. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that that's my problem with most. That's why I find it very hard to date because, and that's why I kind of found it hard at first to talk to women. It's because they just judge a book by its cover. Either you're too ugly, I don't want to date you, or they just see you more as a friend. It's like, well, you've judged me by my cover. You haven't actually gotten to know me. So how do you know you want to date me or not?
Yeah.
I mean, you might not find me that attractive on the outside, but if that's what that's the difference between most guys and most women. Is most guys go for personality, whereas most women go for looks, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah, it's just true, man. It's true, and like. I don't know, man. I don't know the statistic on that. Like, I'm not going to definitively throw out a statistic.
And look, I don't want to either because I don't want to like offend any women.
No, because like I don't know the statistic on how that actually is. I can tell you from my experience, I'm turned down quicker than I can ask. And
bro, amen.
Yeah,
hey, bro. I'll go up to a girl and I'll say, hey, what's your name? I saw you over there. I really wanted to like come up and say hi, and they're like, "Oh no, sorry." Either these are the two excuses I get. Well, one, I have a boyfriend, and most likely the girl doesn't have a boyfriend. Or two,
maybe they do though. To be fair, maybe they do. That's fair.
That's the thing. That's the thing is maybe some of them do, but I can tell. I can promise you that most of the women that reject me don't have a boyfriend. They say they have a boyfriend because they don't find me attractive.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm just like.
That's where I go back to okay, you don't find me attractive, but you haven't gotten to know me. Maybe I'm a nicer guy than the dickhead six-pack dude that you're dating. Like, who knows?
And sometimes I just feel like
in that relationship with that dickhead six-pack dude is gonna last a lot shorter than a relationship with me because I'm such a caring, emotional dude. And that's what I hate too is that women these days have I don't know why they have, but they've grown this almost persona of wanting to date dickheads over like simps. I don't know if you've heard of the word simp.
I know the word simp. That one I am familiar with. Yeah.
The girls these days want to date dickheads over simps, and I don't get it. That relationship isn't going to go anywhere.
What I don't understand is, and like obviously this whole situation, this isn't the only time I've been put through something similar. This one's a little more special to me, but obviously like. My point is like overall, like I've been dicked around, dude. Like it's happened, dude. Like
dude,
it's
trust me, I have too.
And like, ladies, if we do have any women watching the show, probably not because you judged us right off the bat and just said that we're not for 100%. You. But exactly. If we do, again, I'm not trying to throw out any definitive statistic on that. But if we do have any lady listeners, quit doing this shit. Like, please, like if you like this, don't do this because it really fucks with our emotions and shit. And if you think that's cool, it's not. I'm not, again, with this girl, I'm not definitively saying she's trying to fuck with my emotions. I actually, from my understanding, or from my experience with her, she's a really wonderful person, this girl. And so this is why, if she's playing a game, it baffles me even more. Because I don't expect that from her. I expect a lot more from her. And genuinely, man, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of, like, having to figure this out. Or, like, having to, like, be the one...
Honestly, bro...
If there was no interest to, she had 8 years where she could have texted me and asked me how I was doing, but she chose the night. She was getting all up in her feels.
And that's or we can go on about this like for long, but that's another thing that I don't like about women. It's like, okay, you only want to text me when you're in your feels. You don't want to just text me, out of the blue just to see how I'm doing. You want to text me when you have problems, not if not to ask if
Which
I have any
again, I
problems.
was willing to be a perfectly accommodating towards, yeah.
And that's the difference between guys like us and other dickhead guys. It's like we're those kind of guys that even if a girl doesn't want to text you out of the blue, and when they do, you still want to be there for them because you are that emotional person that does care.
I'm emotionally available, yes.
This and me of any people, I'm one of the most emotional people in this world.
For her especially, I'm emotionally available because I know
Look,
this girl. I care about this girl.
And if my most recent ex ever was to text me out of the blue asking, me how I was, I would be there for her. I would love it because I genuinely do still care about her and I still wish the best for her. Even if it isn't with me, I still do wish the best for her. But I just don't like how girls just prefer to only text, a guy when they have problems and not when, because it's literally just them caring about themselves only.
And again, it comes down to, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to stop giving a shit about you? I'm sorry that I care. I'm sorry that I care about you. I'm sorry that I've cared about you for 8 years as much as I have, because genuinely, this is a girl that just kept popping up into my brain, dude, and we didn't really even have a relationship. It doesn't make me fucking crazy. It just makes me a caring person. I'm not a psychopath because I've thought about you for 8 years. I genuinely feel like it's all from a good place. And if you can't accept that, or this girl can't accept that, then I don't know what to do. I'm not asking her to get married to me. I'm not asking her to fucking,
What would you like that?
fuck, man, I don't know. I've been hurt before. It's like, that's a bigger conversation. So it's like,
dude, trust me.
so I would never ask that. I'm asking you to just give me my shot. Just let me take you out for a cup of coffee.
I would ask that for my.
And I'm being genuine. Let me take you out for a cup of coffee. If we hit it off, we hit it off. If we don't, we don't. But let's
say, at least,
give it a shot.
At least just like give me a chance to just get at least a cup of coffee and like just talk. Just talk as friends.
Yes, we have a history. Yes, I've made mistakes, but that just makes me a fucking human being.
I was literally praise what you just said, because this is what I don't like. Humans make mistakes. We're all gonna make mistakes. It shouldn't matter in the end, because even girls, like I like how girls like want to pin everything on guys because they make a mistake. You guys make mistakes too, like girls, like women out there. Like, you gotta understand, you guys also make mistakes. Guys aren't the only ones that make mistakes. Okay, you blame us for for those guys that just go out there and like sleep with other women. You guys probably also just go out there and sleep with other men. Obviously, that's not all women, but I'm saying,
again, there's no definitive statistic on it, but
everyone makes, like, just get over it, okay? Like, everyone makes mistakes.
It's just, again, man, it's yeah, exactly, and it comes down to the fact that you and I are both emotionally available men. We're not trying to just get in your fucking pants. We're asking you for a cup of coffee.
Now, obviously, if we like the girl, that'd be cool, but that's not the first thing. That's not the first thing that's in.
How do you know? How do you know unless you got the shot, though? How do you know?
But that's not the first thing that, obviously, when we first see a girl that we really like, that's not the first thing that pops into our mind. The first thing that pops into a caring, emotional guy's mind is being there for them and talking to them, getting to know them.
Yeah.
Then, as the years go by, then yes.
Yeah.
Sleeping them, yeah, obviously that's a plus. But for me, especially when it comes to, girls that I like and even love, is always first, like, being there for them, getting to know them.
If you care about them, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's always first caring about them, getting to know them on an emotional, deep level.
Yeah.
And then,
I have this thought all the time. It's like, if like with this girl right now, if she can get into my mind and understand like how much I care about her, she'd fall in love with me if she was in my head.
Bro, that's
not an ego thing. That's like a genuine thing. If she understood the connection I was feeling, she'd fall in love too.
That's the same thing that I think anytime that's what I thought with my most recent ex too.
Not saying I'm in love with this girl. I'm just saying, like, because I know how much I care about her. There's something there.
That's the same thing with my most recent ex. Like, when we first started dating, we both just connected on such an emotional, deep level that, like, we both cared for each other and like wanted to be with each other, that we
Yeah.
would spend almost every second of every day together. And that's where I thought that she was going to be the one, but
So
obviously it didn't
so what
didn't
am
work
I
out.
supposed to do now? What do I do with this? I leave it alone? I drop it? I guess it's all I can do. And that's unfair that I'm put in that position. I recognize that, in my opinion. I think it's unfair.
I mean, it is unfair because she should at least just give you a shot to at least just
Have
go
the
get it.
fucking conversation. I agree.
Exactly. Go and grab a cup of coffee, and even if it's not in person with a cup of coffee,
I
at
just need
least
a chance to have the conversation.
at least on the phone, like at least.
I need a chance to have the conversation.
'Cause if she doesn't want to go out in person, cool, whatever. At least have a conversation over the phone, at least.
And she was the one that suggested maybe next week. That's what makes me even more upset. I was basing that off her suggestion. You're getting fired up like Kylo Ren over there. Boom.
No, that's honestly what pisses me off, because like that's the other thing too, is that girls will like lead you on and then just shut it off immediately because they want to blame you for anything that any little mistake that you make, they want to just blame it on you. But like, so you suggest something and then we want to
I was building on your suggestion.
literally,
Granted, I brought up the cup of coffee first, but she brought. Okay, I think this goes back to her because she brought up catching up first. She brought up catching up the night before, so I was building on that.
That's what I'm trying to say, is that girls when they say, all right, why don't we catch up, and then you suggest, all right, what about this day at this time at this place, and they just want to like leave you on like opened and just like not say anything. It's like, well, okay, why'd you suggest catching up in the first place if you actually don't want to do it? Like,
yeah. Liz, man, I don't know what I got to do here, but ladies, if you listen, tell me what I'm supposed to do. Honestly, because I would love to hear it from your perspective. And if there are any women listening, I want to hear a conversation in the comment section. I really do, for this one, because I think that there's something to be said about this. I really do. I think that there's something that needs to be said. I think there's a conversation that needs to be had. I would like to get that conversation going in the comment section. I don't think that
I'm trying to think of a way that you could like word it, but
I don't think the girl I talk to listens to me here, but I hope to God she does. Maybe she'll know how I feel finally. Jesus Christ.
Imagine she does it. She still just doesn't text you back.
That's most likely what would happen. Yeah, for sure.
She's like this dickhead.
Yeah, this fucking dickhead airing out our business. I don't think she listens. She probably doesn't even know I have a show. To be honest.
Look, if she doesn't text back in like a couple of days, then honestly,
whatever. I'm fucked.
No point.
I'm fucked on this, and
yeah, honestly, yeah, you are, because there's no point.
I gotta be the one that's stuck caring about her, thinking about her.
Now, another thing you could do is like send a text, trying to like bring back the whole thing about like at least having a phone conversation. Just like, bring up the whole thing about how she wanted to catch up, and then like suggest a phone call. And then if she doesn't text back in like a couple of days, and just forget about it.
Well, that was the whole thing the night before, right? She wanted to catch up. We talked very briefly. I wouldn't necessarily call what we did catching up. I was building on that and suggesting a cup of coffee.
That's what I mean. Like, kind of suggest the catching back up again, and like suggest like a phone call at least. And then if she doesn't answer back, then just forget about it.
It's sad. I just, at this point, especially with her, I'm a fighter, man. I always consider myself a fighter, and I fight for what I believe in. But in this case, dude, I really feel like I've given everything I have to give, man.
Yeah, you see, that's where I cherish our friendship so much, because we're both fighters, and we both fight for what we believe in, and stand for what we believe in, and there's only so much we can give until we just have to give up.
I know this, man. I know this. I know, for some reason in my heart, I deserve a shot with this girl. I do. I just deserve a chance. Dude. I deserve a chance.
Trust me, I'm on your side.
If she was in my mind, she would know that too.
Because it comes back around to this whole, she suggested catching up, and
Yeah, man, and It's a bummer, dude, and I'm fucked. I'm the one that's got to be stuck caring about her, thinking about her. You know, I know that a lot of people would, you know, give me the advice, you got to let it go, but like, it's not easy. It's not easy to let go. When you're on my side of this, it's not easy to let go because
I understand completely where you're coming from, man. I mean, I haven't been, this girl, hasn't been 8 years, but it's been like 3 years, and I totally understand where you're coming from, man.
it's not easy to let go, dude. I broke up with my ex who broke my fucking heart. And that wasn't easy to let go. I still have dreams about my ex for some reason. Don't ask me why, but I still do.
Like I just told you, bro. I dream about my most recent ex almost every single night.
Yeah. I don't know why I do, but it's not as much as I've dreamt about this girl for whatever reason, you know, and I know that sounds weird, but I can't control my dreams. You know, maybe to her that would sound weird, or to other girls that would sound weird, but I can't control my dreams. I'm a human being. And so, she's going to pop up in my mind a lot, and I can't help that. That's just me, man. That's me at the end of the day, is that, like, dude, I care about her for whatever reason. But, you know, I'll say this. I find this area of of her, this whole thing going on, I actually kind of find to be pretty low. And, you know, maybe she feels like if she is like that toward me, maybe I'll stop giving a shit, but it's not going to happen overnight. But I don't know, man. That's just where I'm at. So, look, Eternals. Let's tie it back. Eternals.
That was a long conversation.
It was a good one though. Hey, it's good fucking radio. It's good fucking radio.
Brian, I could go on about that stuff like all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, all right, so Eternals. This movie, I saw it. It's directed by Chloe Zhao, and I like Chloe Zhao a lot. I thought Nomadland was awesome. It obviously won Best Picture last year at the Oscars, along with Chloe Zhao winning Best Director at the Academy Awards last year as well. And this movie, I was really looking forward to it because I'm a huge fan of hers. I was wanting to see what she could do. And I'll tell you what, man, I really liked this movie a lot. I thought it was great. Really great cinema. Now, I know that critics haven't been extremely high on it. And whatever, man, all film is subjective. You know, I got to let that go. I've heard a lot of comparisons to like Dune, and a lot of people said, if you like Dune, you might like this. Like, this is similar. It's not similar to Dune at all. It's a sci-fi movie, and it's kind of an epic like Dune, but like in general, it's not Dune. Dune has a lot more, story beats that's trying to put out, and this is a lot of movie, don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown at you, a lot of new information given about this universe. Obviously this is the newest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so they do give you a lot of new information that has a lot of implications on things moving forward. And it's great, man. It's great. Like, I was really surprised by a lot of the way that the story ended up going, and I was really just like, it gave me this sense of wonder, you know what I mean? And I really like that, dude. It gave me this sense of wonder of like, what else is out there, and all that shit. And like, if anybody like you think about like us as human beings, dude, and like we think about like what's out there, you know, what's out there in the world, what's bigger than us. This is kind of that for the MCU, because this is telling us what is out there for the MCU, and what's going on, you know, and all that kind of stuff, dude. This movie's gorgeous. This is one of the most ambitious Marvel films, I think, of all time, and it's amazing, dude. It's ballsy because it makes some decisions and moves that are going to have major implications on the universe moving forward. My whole thing, and I know, Jose, you agree, was always kind of, if you're going to do more shit after the Infinity Saga, you got to try new shit. Because, like, new shit is the only way you're going to move this forward. If we get the same thing every time...
Because it's also what is going to keep fans, wanting to continue to watch the MCU. Because if you just keep doing the same shit over and over again, then eventually your fans are just going to get bored, and they're not going to want to go and Thor number 5, Iron Man number 6, Captain America number 8.
Yeah,
it's just going to get boring and boring. Like, no one's going to want to go watch that stuff. So that's why when Shang-Chi was announced, I was like, okay, this is something different that the MCU hasn't done before. I'm actually really stoked for that, and that's why I'm really excited to go watch Eternals, because it's probably the most out there movie that the MCU has done.
Yeah, while there is, and again, man, and while there is like more story here, I don't find it confusing. Like, I was able to follow this movie for the most part. It's definitely things I want to process, so I want to watch it again for that reason. But for the most part, I followed this movie from front to back. I think Chloe Zhao did a terrific job. I don't understand why there's so much hate on this movie. It's kind of an anomaly to me because, to me, this checks off
Well,
all the
I
good
was gonna say,
boxes.
I was gonna say, the audience score just came out for this film.
Oh, did it? Where we at?
Yeah, 86%.
Good. I hope it stays there, man. We got a whole weekend, but and listen,
Because
man.
it was the Rotten Tomato went from 51 to 53, but it's back down to 51
Yeah.
on the Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah, I love this cast. By the way, Angelina
But
Jolie
hey,
was.
I mean, fans are enjoying it.
I hope so. I hope they stay there, man. I like this cast a lot. I mean, Angelina Jolie is fantastic, and what I really like about her is she like really blends into the team. She doesn't like come out and say, "Hey, I'm Angelina Jolie and I'm taking over this show." No, she blends in. She does her job right, well, and I really love that, dude. I think that she did a great job with all of that stuff.
This is a very out there cast. You know, you had Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek was good.
Kit Harrington and
Kit Harrington was good for what he had to do. He's not in the movie a lot, but he's good.
Yeah, you had a deaf woman in this film, which was also, I thought, is a pretty incredible because we've never really had that before in the MCU. So I thought that was pretty cool addition.
Yeah, and I really liked. I think one of the standouts here is Kumail Nanjiani. I've been a big fan of this guy since I saw The Big Sick. I think that movie's incredible. And he is awesome in this, and he really is the comic relief, and he brings great humor to this. The people that are worried, this has a lot of the same like Marvel humor in this, like, but it's just in a different type of universe. You know what I mean? It's a different world. It feels like almost. It does at times. I'm not gonna lie to anybody here. It does at times feel isolated from the rest of the Marvel movies, but that's also kind of what I loved about it. Is it's very focused on setting up this team, but there are a lot of characters to set up, and you have to stay focused on them. Richard Madden is fantastic. I've been a fan of his since Game of Thrones as well. I mean, he was great as Icarus in this film, and Gemma Chan as Cersei is phenomenal. She's great, dude. And there's so many people that we can focus in on here that just do a great job. This isn't, and another thing too, this is very story based. It's not very action based. It's very character and story based for most of the time. So you're not going to get the same type of action beats that you would in other MCU films. However, when there is action, it's phenomenal. Like when there is action, it's some of the best shot action in the entire MCU for sure. Like it's almost up there with Shang-Chi when it comes to how the action was shot. And like I love that about this. I don't know where I put it in my rank yet. I mean, honestly, because like I'm still debating on whether I like this or Shang-Chi better. I think like Shang-Chi still might be a little better to me, but I really like this movie. Sometimes, sure. Sometimes you get a little wrapped up into it that sometimes like in moments like you'll be so wrapped up into it, and this could work as a compliment and a complaint. I can see it both ways because sometimes I really did feel very wrapped up into it to the point where I was like, I kind of forgot how we got to this moment. So I found myself thinking back a lot, like trying to retrack how we got to the moment that we were in. So there was a lot of that. Sometimes the moments were getting really serious, and I would have liked to have seen them stay on that trajectory, stay on the dramatic path in certain areas, and then somebody would come in with a joke and just like ruin the moment. I'm like, I don't understand why Marvel has to make a habit of that, but there were times like that in this movie. I definitely had a problem there. I also kind of had a problem with a CGI moment that's in this movie. And it was just one little moment, but it looked pretty questionable. I don't know if everybody's going to catch it, but to me, that was the one area I was like, that's a little questionable. It's weird that they couldn't get better CGI in this one moment, considering how gorgeous the rest of the film is. Most of the thing is shot on location, and it's great for that reason. It's got a phenomenal score. I mean, this is one of those scores that will take you into like Lord of the Rings mode, man. I'm telling you, because you'll hear the score, you're gonna be like, oh my god, it's like beautiful, it's epic, it's everything, dude. I do feel like Eternals was a movie that was made for me, but yeah. Did you have questions, Jose, for the movie? Non-spoiler questions, obviously.
Questions. But yeah, obviously. I'm trying to think. Um, Not really. I mean,
Okay. Oh yeah. By
well,
the
I
way,
guess.
there are two post credit
Uh,
scenes, so everybody knows. So stay for them both. They're both really great.
yeah.
They're both really good. But there's a mid credit and a post credit. They're both phenomenal. They're both exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I guess it's like pacing. Is there any pacing issues in this film?
No, I mean, again, it's going to come down to you as a person. I mean, I think that maybe sometimes people won't like the pacing because it's very dialogue heavy from time to time. Like maybe sometimes they're going to be like, I just want the action. For me, I was all for the dialogue heavy stuff, and I was all for that. Yeah, by the way, there's a twist in here that just blew my fucking mind though, because there's something that happens that you are not going to see coming, and when it comes, you're going to be like, "Oh my god." Was really mind blowing, and it's surprising. There's a lot of surprises for the audiences in this movie, and there's a few twists and things you're not going to expect to happen. Things don't go down the way you think they're going to happen. I hope the audiences really take to this one, dude, because this is such a good movie, man. It's great, dude. It's not a 53% or whatever the critics were saying, dude. It's phenomenal, dude. And I'll go ahead and give you my grade. I think that this movie is a must go. I really do. I do think everybody needs to give it a shot. It's really damn good. Nice thing is if you're like not an MCU fan too, you can still go. I think you can enjoy this not being an MCU fan. It does feel that isolated from the rest of it that you could probably still watch it if you're not like a hardcore MCU fan. It's just a really good flick. It's a great piece of art from Chloe Zhao, and good job all around to everybody, man. Good ensemble, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a couple things I was gonna say. First off, I did read a report saying that Richard Madden and Kit Harrington, apparently it was like really hard for them to shoot this movie together. I don't know if they have like a gripe with each other or what,
I don't know. Maybe it
but
was I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was like just because they did Game of Thrones already. I don't know. Who knows?
and then another thing too is that the guy who scored Eternals also scored the first Pacific Rim and the first Iron Man.
Oh, good. Yeah, that makes sense. He's really good. Whoever that is, he did a good job. Epic, man. Epic score.
His name's what's his name? What's his name? Oh, Ramen
Oh yeah.
Djawadi.
That guy. Yeah, I actually remember
Yeah.
that name because I've listened to that Iron Man soundtrack. Lord knows how many times now. Yeah, it's really no, really. I mean, he's great, man. He's got a great score for this. This is probably score wise, I would say this is better than his Iron Man score. I'm not saying this is better than the Iron Man movie. I love the Iron Man movie, like without a doubt. But it's still really good. I don't know, man. It's up there probably. I don't know. It probably make my top 10 favorite MCU movies. Honestly, genuinely, I would say it's at least in the top 10 MCU movies. I loved it. Like it's great,
I
dude.
mean, it's gotta be because if you really look at the MCU movies, I mean, there's gotta be ones in there
Yeah,
that are worse than this one. Like Thor: The
yeah,
Dark World, definitely. I mean, it doesn't deserve a
yeah,
51. Yeah.
yeah. Miles
Oh,
ahead. Miles ahead. By the way, miles ahead again of the garbage that some people say this is, but not quite the masterpiece other people say it is. So it's like I'm kind of between that, but like I'm not in the middle on the movie. Like I'm on the more positive side by far, but it's not quite the masterpiece I heard some people say it is. I appreciate the risk though, because I think it is a risk to like try to make a Marvel movie as epic as ambitious as this. So I appreciate it, and I think they did a
so
good job.
this is actually one thing I wanted to say. My sister's boyfriend was watching a TikTok, and in that TikTok, there's this guy who's like really like he's probably the most famous TikToker when it comes to MCU theories. And he was saying on his TikTok how he was telling everyone to show up 30 minutes before the movie because he's gonna be on the screen talking about stuff for the MCU.
Oh, cool. That's dope.
So I'm gonna be there like 45 minutes before just so I can catch it.
Dope.
Maybe even an hour before because I watch this guy too and his theories and the stuff he talks about for the most part comes true, which is probably why they're having him talk on the screen. Just because what he says, a lot of what he says, like his theories do do kind of come true, and he's probably one of the biggest like MCU fans out there right now. So
Yeah. I'll say this. This is another thing I would say. Is I would say because I brought Jareth with me last night. He was my +1 for the screening, and he's read the comics. He loves the comics, and he's been talking about Eternals, I think, since I met him. He's been looking forward to this and loved this movie. He thought it was a good adaptation of the comics, but also kind of surprised him a lot of the places. He thought they surprised him in a good way because he thought he had the whole story pegged. Like, he thought he knew what was going to be coming out of it, and then it was like, yeah, not that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes like it would surprise him and do like a bait and switch from what the comics did, apparently, according to him. So he loved it too. So just to give people reference on that. But let's talk about speaking of like Disney properties, let's talk about Disney Plus Day though, because I know that that's coming up, and you know, a lot of people have speculation on that. Now, one thing I'll bring up is the fact that, you know, we kind of bringing it back to where we were at in the beginning of the show. A lot of people thought we were going to get the Boba Fett trailer on Disney Plus Day. Didn't happen. Obviously, you know, we got it a lot earlier. What does Lucasfilm have for us at Disney Plus Day? You know, that's my question now that you've seen Boba Fett. I'll say this. I'm not trying to like throw anything out there and be overly speculative, but Obi-Wan is done filming. They have footage. It's out there. You know,
so
I mean,
that's what I was gonna say. I've read multiple reports confirming that on Disney Plus Day we're gonna be getting an Obi-Wan Kenobi series trailer.
Really? Well, where are these reports coming from?
Yeah, and
I would like to know.
Not only that,
because if it's not from Variety, Deadline, or the Hollywood Reporter, I don't buy it. You know, because for me, it's like, I think it's unlikely. I still think it's unlikely, unless somebody comes out and confirms it. I still think it's unlikely that we get Obi-Wan. But I could see it being good speculation, considering they put out the Boba Fett trailer and they're going to have something to show us. You know, whether that be Obi-Wan, the Andor series, I don't know.
I was going to say, that's the report was saying that we're going to get an Obi-Wan trailer and some Andor footage.
Yeah, again, who's the source, though? Yeah, because, like, that's, you know, that's where I'm at with this. Again, unless this comes from Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, or Variety, I don't buy it. I genuinely don't. Because, like, to me, that's all speculation until then.
Yeah. Never mind. It was...
What?
Yeah, no, it was comicbook.com.
They confirmed it?
I mean, that's what it says.
All right, read the report. So unprofessional. So unprepared.
I'm trying to find it because I kind of just glimpsed over it. I didn't like read it.
Giving you shit. Just fill in the silence.
Yeah.
Giving you shit.
Oh my gosh, where the fuck did...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is silence.
Well, he does go to write in this report. It says, adding more excitement to the upcoming event is the rumor that we could get a teaser.
Rumor. There we go. I stop you right there. Rumor. I stop you with a rumor.
But that's for Bad Batch season 2 though.
Okay. Still okay. Rumor about Bad Batch.
Okay, this one says the outlet claims that rather than seeing an official teaser for the new series, their sources say audiences can expect another sizzle reel, and that's for Andor.
Yeah, I bet we get a sizzle reel for Andor and for Obi-Wan. Sizzle reel's fine. That's one thing. I just don't think we're gonna get a trailer quite yet. If we do, great. I did say that I said it was just footage for Andor, but yeah. If we get a trailer for Obi-Wan, I'll be happy to be wrong about that, by the way. You know, because like I want that trailer. Be incredible, dude.
Same, honestly. I feel like at this point we need it.
I'll tell you why I don't think we're getting the Obi-Wan trailer, and this is it right now. Because of Star Wars Celebration coming back next year for the first time in like 2 years. I think that's where they would air it. personally. And I think Celebration takes place like probably a month before they're going to actually release the show. So I think that would be the best place to put a trailer. Not saying they're not giving us a trailer. I'm just saying that because I don't think so. I think it's unlikely we get a trailer at Disney Plus Day. But Disney Plus Day last year, dude, was such a surprise because we got so much shit. That was where like everything came through. And like
I was just saying, this Disney Plus Day could be another surprise. Who knows?
yeah, man. Actually, last year it was called Disney Investors Day, but it's same thing, same event overall. I mean, I hope that they do as well as they did last year. I hope they don't pull a DC fandom.
On Disney Plus Day.
Yeah.
What's it called? On Disney Plus Day, we're going to be getting Shang-Chi and Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus officially.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I can't wait to rewatch Shang-Chi, and Jungle Cruise is really good too. I mean, I would love to watch it again.
I still haven't seen Jungle Cruise.
It's a really good movie.
I'm super excited for that to drop on Disney Plus to watch it because I still haven't seen that one.
It's a good watch. Yeah, it's a really good flick. A lot of fun. I had a good time with that one. I thought Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt just did really well together. I thought they had great chemistry. Yeah, so man, I loved it. It was really good, man. I had a good time with it.
And Jack Whitehall, big up.
Jack Whitehall was good. I had no idea who the fuck this guy was. I just heard that he was a YouTuber, but I saw him in this movie and I was like, damn.
Oh, dude,
he was good.
Yeah, I love his YouTube videos, man. He's just such a comedian, man. He's actually a comedian and a YouTuber, but he brings his comedy to his YouTube videos, and that's what I love so much about him. And he's got his own Netflix series with his father.
Oh, really? He was
pretty cool.
He was so damn good in this. He was so damn good in the Jungle Cruise. Yeah.
I just can't believe this man has gone from Jungle Cruise to now making a Clifford the Big Red Dog movie.
Yeah, not the best career decision there, but yeah. That we'll see. Yeah. Maybe Clifford's a masterpiece. Like who the fuck knows, but it could be. Look, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a big event, man. I for some reason something tells me Bob Chapek's not going to show his face at this thing though, because I think Chapek's taking a lot of heat between the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit and just a bunch of other shit. So I bet he doesn't even show his face at this thing, but I'm still excited to see what they bring us. And yeah, it should be really cool, dude. I can't wait for all these announcements. I can't wait, man. I hope that I don't know. Marvel's doing a lot right now. I don't know how much more Marvel announcements we need, how many more of those, but Star Wars, I definitely want to, bring us some cool shit and like cool announcements and things. And we'll probably get a longer trailer for Boba Fett as well. I would imagine that's another thing we'll probably get is a longer trailer for Boba Fett. On the Marvel front, we'll probably, I don't know. Would they put out a Spider-Man trailer? I don't know, because it's Disney Plus Day, not, Disney theatrical day.
There was, again, these are all rumors, but
yeah.
There are rumors out there saying that we will be getting a second Spider-Man No Way Home trailer at Disney Plus Day, but who knows?
Yeah. I hope so.
They did. There was also posts on Twitter again. I don't know how affirmative these are, but there were posts putting out there like Spider-Man's new costume and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin new costume for this film as well. Don't know how true those are, but they look really sick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you something. Switching gears a little bit is not a big Disney project or anything, but this movie Oppenheimer is coming together, man. This sounds like it's going to be fantastic. This Oppenheimer film. I obviously, I think if we were to, you ask most film pundits out there right now, who's the best directors working today, up and coming kind of directors, not even up and coming, just like the best new directors. I mean, people would tell you Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan. I mean, without a doubt. And yep. Christopher Nolan, his new film Oppenheimer, I've loved almost everything Nolan's done, but like Oppenheimer, man, sounds like it's coming together. We got Cillian Murphy and Emily Blunt teaming back up after Quiet Place.
Jeez.
And
Robert De Niro, let's go.
De Niro what?
Robert Downey Jr. is what I meant.
I was going to say, Downey Jr. got confirmed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Downey Jr. and Matt Damon are all confirmed for this now. It's going to be a good project, dude. Did you see that movie Zodiac?
Isn't this Downey's first movie since Doolittle?
Oh, since Doolittle? I think so, yeah. Yeah.
I heard that was a horrible movie.
That tanked both critically and in the box office, and like nobody liked it that saw it. I don't think. Yeah. So
No, yeah, I heard so many bad things from that film.
it was supposedly a disaster. I didn't watch it. I'll be completely real.
Oh he's coming out with a Sherlock Holmes 3 actually.
Yeah,
Before
but
Oppenheimer.
nobody. I don't think it's happening. I know it says it's happening, but I don't think it's happening.
No, because it says it's coming out in December of this
It's not. It's not.
Oh, it's not?
No way. No way it actually hits December. I'll tell you why. Because Warner Brothers did their presentation at CinemaCon. No Sherlock Holmes 3 trailer. You would have had that at CinemaCon if that was something that was happening. You know, at least for the people that were at CinemaCon. They might not have aired it publicly, but the people at CinemaCon would have seen a Sherlock Holmes 3 trailer.
Oh, yeah. It hasn't even started filming yet.
There you go, man. It's in pre-production, right? So you don't even like have any. Yeah. There's no way this thing's making December at this point. Yeah.
I was gonna say, so I mean, it won't come out this year, but it'll probably come out at some time in the future.
Sure. I hope so. Yeah. It's just not hitting its deadline. That's for damn sure. I think COVID kind of messed that up.
So yeah, this Oppenheimer will be his first film since since Doolittle. Sorry.
Yeah. That's Dr. Doolittle. It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, look.
14. Jesus Christ, 14% Rotten Tomato. Oh my God.
Yeah. Man, I think Oppenheimer's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait, dude. I Christopher Nolan coming back to make something else, even though, and this will be interesting because this will be the first movie that Nolan's made in years without Warner Brothers, which is going to be wild that he's not going to be working with them again. I mean, Nolan's always worked with Warner Brothers. This will be the first time in a long time he hasn't worked with them. So I'm interested to see what kind of freedom the new studio gives them. I imagine when you have Christopher Nolan, you tell him to do whatever the fuck you want. But that's just my opinion.
I just read. A report just popped up saying how Marvel's Eternals is reportedly being pulled from release in multiple Gulf nations.
Huh? Interesting.
Including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar.
Interesting. Is there a reason?
It doesn't even. It says it no longer appears on websites in those countries.
Oh, websites. Okay.
No, as in like the film doesn't even like you look up Eternals and it doesn't.
So they're just kind of wiping it out of existence from those countries.
Just completely. Yeah.
Wow. Is there a reason?
I'm trying to read here if it says anything about that.
No.
No, I mean I can't read anything here so far, but Kuwait and Qatar censors additionally objected to a cinematic depiction of gods, which is
there you go. It's a religious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we do. That's the one thing about the Turtles. It's not a spoiler. It's right in the beginning, but you get the MCU's version of what God is, and like
the celestial.
Yeah, it's a different universe. I mean, come on, like people have to realize this is not our universe. They're not depicting our universe. This is a different universe, man. They're gonna have a different God.
It's not like they're depicting like the God that Christians believe in. Like it's
right.
It's made up.
It's their version of what our God is.
Bro, it's made up. It's a comic. Like it's based off a comic. Like why do you have to take this stuff so serious, bro? It's made up. It's literally something someone made up.
It's make believe, and you don't have to watch it. Like honestly, you don't have to watch it. If you really,
I was gonna say, let it come out in your theaters, and if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Yeah, don't fucking watch it. Yeah, you don't have to. But yeah, dude, that's gonna hurt the box office right there. Yeah, I do have an announcement I need to make here really quick. By the way, so actually you don't know about this yet. So I'll just throw this out there now. But I'll be, just so everybody knows, I'll be going to Florida next week. I'm just going for the week. So next week we are going to be ceasing production for the most part. I think you and I actually we'll talk about scheduling. We might still get one movie mornings out next week. The week after I'm not so sure on, but we'll figure it out. So just so everybody knows, if we're not, producing content at the frequency that we were, it's because I'm in Florida. I'm gonna take a vacation just 1 week. I will be back. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. So yeah, I'll be in Florida next week. So anyway, so there's that. Anyway, have
we told the channel yet? Have you told the channel yet that I won't be here for like a couple weeks?
Yeah. So yes, we could talk about that December too. So December, Jose's leaving for 3 weeks, I believe, total. I think you're going to overlap into January, if I'm not mistaken, right? You're going to go like the last couple weeks in December.
December from December from like December 17th to like January 7th.
Yeah,
I'll be gone.
And I believe Sammy is going to fill in for you on those days, so we'll have her back on the channel. So
yeah, at least you'll have someone to talk to about Spider-Man.
Yeah, she'll be filling in for you on those days, I believe. So we'll have somebody, and
we'll have. I think we'll be doing some content too before I leave to put up on the channel too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We'll try to pre-record some stuff for sure, and I have some fun ideas and stuff, but we'll get to that.
You'll see my face. You'll see my face. You'll see my face when I'm gone, but I just won't be here.
I was gonna put up a big picture of you smiling on that side of the screen, and we're just gonna have Sammy talk, and it's gonna be you. Have you ever seen like those old Conan O'Brien? There's these old Conan O'Brien sketches from back in the day where he used to do like it would be like he'd have like the image on the screen, but somebody else's mouth would be like on the mouth part of it, and like so they'd be like talking, and it would look really funny. Those are always the best. That's what we'll do with you. We'll just have Sammy try to do a depression of you, and we'll have your image up on that side of the screen. I think that'd be the best way to go. But
I mean, she's done an impression of Cisco. So.
That was amazing. That impression she did of Cisco was almost spot on.
It was. Yeah, it was.
It was like, yeah, and, you know, I got Saturday matinee and check out Sat Matinee Pod, and yeah, you know, just yeah. Cisco's on one. I want to know how he felt about Eternals. He's been on one lately. Like he's on a roll with not liking shit these days. He's been on a roll. So I wonder how he feels about this one.
He probably didn't like Eternals, honestly.
Probably not. I would guess no. That's my guess. He probably didn't. But yeah, guys, check out Saturday Matinee Pod. It's actually really good. They do it on stereo every Saturday.
Exactly.
It's Cisco and Edwin over there. They're really good what they do, and I really honestly go support them.
And then he has
shout out.
He has a show with Shannon B, I believe, as well on there.
Oh yes, too. Yes. What was that movie? Movie buffs. Go check out Movie Buffs. Yeah. I haven't actually tuned into that one yet. But I know Cisco's really good at what he does, so I would recommend the audience does if you like what we do. I mean, Cisco's really good at that shit, dude. Like, we disagree. I had this conversation with him. He and I disagree all the time, and I love it because anytime we talk about movies, it just creates such good debate.
I was gonna say it makes for a great conversation.
Yeah, great debate, man, He's killer, man. He's killer at what he does. He's great at it, man. And like he really is, dude. It amazes me, you know, that he doesn't have more support than he does over there because like he's really that damn good. Like I mean that 100%. Like I think he's that damn good at what he does. And that was the whole reason I brought him on, you know, because I was like, he's a really good fucking critic, you know, like a really good fucking critic. Like there's guys that you listen to, it's like, yeah, they got potential. Like no, Cisco's just like naturally a really good fucking critic. I disagree with him all the time, but he's a great critic. He's got the talent, dude. You know, and it's like so love that. You know,
I need to work a bit on being a better critic in movies, but you know, I'm working on it.
Well, I mean, after that last night in Soho review.
Hey, look. But then you look at my Halloween Kills ones. So.
Yeah, you did a good job. I don't know what happened. What happened? Explain yourself.
Look. We don't talk about that.
We do talk about that. What happened?
But
Explain yourself.
Don't know. Thing is, I don't know. I still don't know what I honestly don't know because I went from Halloween Kills to last night. So
you went from in one show. You went from like talking about Dune, and you sounded incredibly stoked on it. And then you were talking about another movie, which apparently you also enjoyed quite a bit. Maybe not as much as Doom, but you also enjoyed. And then it was
my tweet said it. I did enjoy it.
Yeah. So you also enjoyed it, and like it was like all the excitement just left, like all the enthusiasm was gone. What happened?
I don't honestly. Maybe because I said some of the stuff I wanted to say in this video, in that review, I said it in the tweet. I don't know. Maybe that's why. So I didn't really have much else to say, but.
Well, restate your tweet.
I get, yeah. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Because, by the way, Edgar Wright saw my the other tweet I I tweeted about it being very humbling that he saw it. He saw the other one too.
Nice, and that's awesome,
So,
and I'm happy about that. I'm happy
yeah,
if the review couldn't make it happen. I'm glad the tweet did. I'm glad that the tweet did. Because seriously,
it's got like 100. It's got 160 views, I believe, already.
The review or the tweet?
So, no, my tweet.
Mm.
That one tweet about that I said was very humbling that he even saw it. It's got like 160 views.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So there you go, man. So you're making progress. Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, I honestly don't. I look.
What happened that day?
I don't know, because that's never happened. Like,
yeah,
that was the first time that happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't. Maybe I froze up. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
I really don't know what happened, man.
Look. I mean, I know the lady. I know the scary lady. The big scary lady told you couldn't talk about the movie or the spoilers and stuff. But you understand you can talk about it in a non-spoiler way. Like, you're allowed to say.
I think that's what happened too. Is that I was just trying to think too much about like what I couldn't say, because when it came to Halloween Kills, like I said, no one gave us that warning beforehand, so I felt like I could just talk about it without overthinking it. I think with that one I just overthink it too much.
You understand, you're allowed to say, like, if there's a twist at the end or something, like, you're allowed to say there's a twist at the end. That's not a spoiler.
Which
you're not giving the twist away.
Which I did say.
Yeah, you did, but I had to get it out of you. I had to beat it out of you before you said it. Yeah, so you did. I'm trying to go somewhere with this. So yeah, I'm trying to figure this out, because
you have seen it though, right? Or not yet?
Not yet. So don't tell me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry, dude. The show times around here are not friendly with my schedule. Like, they've been like, I don't know when I'll see it, because I'm going to Florida. I'll try to see it before then. Clearly, because I'm not getting coffee Monday night anymore, I have time. But yeah, so so hey, there's that. So I might go then. I was gonna spend $10 on coffee. Might as well spend $10 on a movie, right? And got time now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well.
But
it's a better investment.
Could be. Yeah, man. I'll go. I want to see this one. Oh, don't worry. I'll get there. I'm getting out there. Yeah, dude. No,
look, my best bud Edgar Wright directed that. You need to go.
My boy Edgar. Yeah, I saw an interview with him. I saw an interview with him recently. He was talking about. They were asking him what his favorite movies were, and he said, like, he said he watched, like, his favorite movies, or the movies he's watched the most, was the exact question. He thinks it's between it's funny because it's such a contrast. He thinks it's between 2001: A Space Odyssey and Airplane, which is kind of how I imagine Last Night in Soho is, like, that mixture of the comedy, and then it gets into, like, this really dark sort of sci-fi element, that's kind of like, this like incredibly creative type thing, while having the Edgar Wright spin on it, obviously.
Yeah. No, it's definitely that, because there's the comedy in that film, and there's also that.
Oh, wait, stop real quick. The movie's out. You could talk about it now. Not spoiler wise, but you could really talk about it now.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Obviously don't want to give it away because you haven't seen it yet, and
it's out. I just wanted you to know. I didn't know if you were notified that it's in the theater now, that people have seen it. Yeah.
Obviously, but I still want to talk non-spoiler because I know you haven't seen it.
No, talk non-spoiler. I don't want to give it away.
And there's people out there that still have probably seen it, but it is similar in that way that there is the comedy in it, but it's
yeah.
I would assume a different comedy to that because this is British, so
yeah.
it's a lot of British humor, but there is that comedy, but then there's also that, like, dark, twisted, sci-fi type feel to it.
Yeah, that's how I expected it to be, which is why I just, found it. I got that from your review the first time around, that's what it was good. So, I mean, which is why I found it interesting, honestly, that it was like the two movies he's watched the most are Airplane and 2001: Space Odyssey. It's like, it's almost like he's trying to contrast those two ideas.
You see he's got a documentary on Netflix.
Is that the one about that band? Because I was wanting to see that.
The Sparks Brothers.
I wanted to see that because that sounded really interesting to me.
I've seen bits of it.
I saw the trailer and they were talking about how this band was like, this should have been the Beatles, but it was almost like the Beatles stole their thunder or something. Like, I'm really fascinated by this documentary.
Because he he put a tweet out about this new documentary of his, like, get ready to get to have a new favorite band.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know it was on Netflix. I didn't know it was on
I,
Netflix.
I knew it was on Netflix only because I saw his tweet, but when I saw that, I started watching a bit of it, and it's pretty good. Honestly, I can't lie. I enjoy it.
My hope is that it does get me into this band. Like, it sounds like this is a band that was like underappreciated and like just never really got the light that they deserved.
I feel like that's why he's made this documentary, because
Yeah.
he feels like they're so underrated that he wants to get this band out there more now.
I think that's amazing, personally. Like, I think
yeah,
that's really cool,
100%.
especially when you like when you watch the trailer and they talk. You have people talking like these guys are just as good as the Beatles. Like, why didn't they get any recognition? It's like they're just as revolutionary as the Beatles, which is like really a really hard thing to swallow. But like to some people, they actually might be. And I mean, I'd just be really interested to hear why they, kind of got, kicked under the rug and stuff. I think that'd be a really good story. It's a really great premise for a doc. It's a really great premise for a doc. I couldn't think of a better one, honestly. Did you watch, there was a really good one I saw last year. I thought actually, like, if I could consider it like in my ranking of films, I would say this is one of the best movies that came out last year, but it was the Beastie Boys story documentary. It was phenomenal. Like, that's one I recommend, because if you're not a fan, I don't know if you're not a fan of the Beastie Boys, I especially recommend it, because I think that this would make you a fan.
I've heard a couple of their songs.
Yeah,
I know that for sure.
Yeah, dude, this doc is great, and like it's it's actually directed by another big director. Spike Lee directed that doc, or Spike Jones.
Spike Lee.
It wasn't Spike Lee. I'm sorry, it was Spike Jones. I get the two mixed up.
Spike Lee. Spike Jones.
This one was Spike Jones. Either way, he did a great job directing it, and like I think it really is for people that haven't appreciated the Beastie Boys. It can attract a whole new audience to them, and the whole thing is done by the Beastie Boys. They're the remaining two members. Though one of them's dead now, but the remaining two members of the Beastie Boys, they pretty much narrate this whole doc, and they tell their whole story, and it's really good, dude. And they make it really entertaining too. Like, those guys were hysterical together. They were like on a stage the whole time talking about it, but they were hysterical, and I like that they kind of made a performance out of it in a way. But it was really, really cool, dude. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's really good. I don't know where you can find the Apple TV, maybe it was on, but yeah, it was really good.
I was gonna say that too. So now you mentioned Apple TV, my parents just bought a new TV, and it came with Apple TV.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I've seen that with TVs now that they're coming with that. They're coming out with Apple TV within the TVs themselves. So that's super cool. That's awesome.
That's another streaming service I have now. I've got so many.
I'm still debating on whether or not I need to drop something for Apple TV. Because like Apple TV to me would probably be worth it, especially with their deal with A24. It's one of my favorite production companies working right now. They put out some of the best stuff, and all this stuff is going to go over to Apple. So I feel like personally it's I feel like it could be a good investment for myself anyway, to drop something for it.
Well, the Beastie Boys documentary has 94% Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, great! Yeah, it deserves it. It's phenomenal. It's one of the best.
And it is on Apple TV.
Okay, yeah, there you go, folks. So if you wanted to check it out, if you're interested, I highly recommend it. And I really do especially recommend it for people who are not fans yet, because I think this would make you a fan. I think that was so good.
That's what Edgar Wright wanted to do with this Sparks Brothers
yeah,
documentaries. Get more people to be fans. I'm guessing because he's a fan of the Sparks Brothers, and just wants them to get them out there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Sure.
Oh wow, bro! But Edgar Wright's documentary for the Sparks Brothers has a 95 Rotten Tomato score and a 98 audience.
All right, so
audience score.
Probably achieved its goal. I can't wait to check it out for sure. That's something I would definitely watch.
I can't wait to continue watching it, because I've started like the beginning, like the first maybe like 5 minutes or so of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese's done some documentaries too that are good. His Bob Dylan one I own on Blu-ray. I love his Bob Dylan documentary. It's great. Like, if anybody out there is fascinated by the story of Bob Dylan, I mean, that tells it. It's fantastic. And Bob Dylan, I might be biased because, like, well, first I love Marty and I love Bob Dylan, like, in general. So I might be biased on that, but I love watching that documentary. It's like 3 hours long, but it's great. It's great. It tells it all, man. It tells it all. It's wonderful. I like when big directors go out of their way to tell a story that they think is important, like in a documentary, you know, because they're like, first of all, you know, I'm a high enough caliber filmmaker that I know I can handle a documentary, even though it's like a different ball game in a way. I'm sure it's a learning curve for people who do film primarily and have to switch over to that. And that's cool though, because it allows them to challenge themselves as a filmmaker though too. You know, like it's like, especially if you're like Marty Scorsese, you'd be like, I've done it all. What haven't I done? Oh, a documentary. I want to challenge myself and start doing some of those. You know, like, how can I challenge myself as a filmmaker at this juncture in my career? You're going to make docs, you know, I think. But yeah. Anyway, look, I mean, there's really nothing else I can think of. Oh, one more thing, actually. Morbius. There's a Morbius trailer that just dropped. The Morbius trailer.
Oh my goodness. I saw it, by the way. I saw it.
Was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Dude, I'm actually it has me so like excited for this. It's very up there, one of my highly anticipated films right there, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that trailer, like, despite Jared Leto's Suicide Squad Joker, it seems like he was like born for this role, honestly.
Guy's a good actor, man. He's a good actor. He had a miss, but he's a good actor. He really is. And like,
honestly, it's you know how I've said, you know, Henry Cavill, his Superman wasn't, you know, amazing, but it's like, you know, he was born.
I love it. I understand I'm in the minority, but I love it. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, like, he was born to play the Witcher. It's like Jared Leto here. You know, he missed with the Joker and Suicide Squad, but it's like he was born to play Morbius. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. I hope so, man.
Again, there's, you know, there's rumors around saying that Venom, you know, you know, Tom Hardy's gonna be, you know, in the Morbius film.
Yeah, he might be.
Which would be cool to see, honestly. You know,
yeah.
I know there's a lot of rumors that they're also saying that, you know, Tom Holland's gonna be, you know, his Spider-Man's gonna be in there too, which I highly doubt. But you know, Tom Hardy's Venom, you know, be in this film.
Yeah. No, look, man, I thought the trailer was phenomenal. I was really thrilled with it.
100%.
Yeah. Before we go, there's something I want y'all to do and go support and check out. And I'm going to show Jose this after the show, actually, because I really want him to check this out and give me his opinions. So there's a guy who's making, I don't know his budget, but he's making a Spider-Man fan film. And he finally put out a trailer. He's been working on this for years. I've heard about this. It's called Spider-Man Lotus is the name of it. He finally put out a trailer for his fan film. And everybody, I'm not going to give it away or anything, but check this thing out. Check out this trailer for this fan film. Again, it's called Spider-Man Lotus.
Who's the director? Do you know?
It's whoever's doing the fan film. I don't know the guy's name. Oh, they say it. It's like something Knopic or something like that, or I don't know. But either way, this looks awesome. I'm going to show Jose this after we're done wrapping up here, because I want his opinion on it. But guys, I'm telling you, go support this guy. Check out Spider-Man Lotus.
His budget wasn't too bad.
What was it?
Actually, $26,000.
That's so ambitious for a fan film, honestly, in my opinion. Like, and yeah, trust me, guys. Honestly, check this thing out. And I actually listened to an interview with this guy, and he said that they were even putting in even more money over the budget now, with out of pocket. So, and yeah, just to make this thing work, and it looks great, and I can't wait. But
it's coming out. It's coming out next year.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Summertime next year. Check it out, guys. Anyway, look, we're gonna get going here. Jose, where can people find you before we take off?
Type 1 Latino, all lowercase, all together on all social medias, and on Stereo. Also, Type 1 Latino with the capital T and L on Twitch. I'm gonna start streaming soon on there, by the way.
Awesome.
So go follow me on there.
Oh yeah, guys, you can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_ and on Instagram Dom_Martino_ official. Keep following everything we're doing here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. Much appreciated, everybody. Also, if you're on the Spotify, follow us there, and then go over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/interx, and do all the things that I just said to do. If you're on the YouTube channel, go over to Spotify and follow us on the Spotify, you know, vice versa. Help out both networks, or, you know, Amazon Music too. That's another one we're on. So, you know, check us out there if you could. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today, and we can't wait to bring you more shows. Jose and I are doing Star Wars Sunday every week as well. We will get to that Revenge of the Sith. I know we missed it, but it was a holiday, and we were like, fuck it, we're taking the day off. So yeah, but anyway, guys,
we might get to it this Sunday.
we're gonna try our best. Yeah, but we will get to it. We'll get to it.
I'm pretty sure I'm coming back home Sundays. We'll most likely gonna watch it and review it on Sunday.
Sweet.
I'll keep Dom updated on that.
All right, guys. So that'll be it, and we appreciate your time, and thank you so much for joining us on another Movie Mornings. Talk to you later. Bye bye.